All right, Will here with IntoMobile. We're back taking another look, part 2, at the Verizon Motorola Devour. We took a first kind of hands-on look at the Mobile World Congress in Barcelona, but seeing as how it's a Verizon phone, it wasn't activated out there, and that kept us from actually taking a look at the phone more in depth than just the hardware. But this bad boy landed on our doorstep today, and first thing you'll notice, the packaging is real small. It's basically the phone in there and that's it. Compared to my hand, a real small box, you know. Jumping right into it, you open it up and you've got the Devour hanging out right there. And quick little look at the box, right? Like I said, there's really not much to it. You open it up, you got the micro USB data cable, you got the, which actually plugs right into the wall charger, you know, so it's real compact, and there's some documentation in there too. So yeah, real minimal packaging. I think that's kind of the way everybody's going these days. And this guy kind of follows suit. So here you have it. This is the Devour. This is the latest Android phone to hit Verizon Wireless. And before, you know, it's again, you know, Android OS, all that good stuff right there. Before we get into that, though, we're going to take a quick little look at the hardware and see what makes the Motorola Devour so appealing. Basically, you've got everything you need in a smartphone. We'll start off with the 3 megapixel camera. Not as high resolution as a Motorola Android, but it's still 3 megapixels, takes decent pictures. I'll show you that in a bit. Going here, not sure if you can quite make it out there, but that is a 3.5mm headphone jack, and that is a standard size headphone jack for all your regular headphones. You don't have to use a special headphone or anything like that. Going down here, we got the speaker, nice cool speaker grill in a rubber insert right here, kind of contrasts with the metallic hard-edged, you know, take a look at the edges right there, real sharply cut, kind of geeky cool right there. Speaker right there, we've got the dedicated camera button here, we've got the volume control rocker right here, and this button, if I hold that down, we'll get voice control. We're going to actually cancel that. Yeah. Okay, so that's voice command right there, voice control. And what else do we have? Well, we have the 3.1-inch capacitive touchscreen, which means that it's a hard touchscreen. It's not one of those squishy, pressure-sensitive, resistive touchscreens. All Android phones have this. This guy's no exception. 3.1 inches. Basically, that's the small, lower end of the size spectrum for a display for a touchscreen phone here. So this pretty much meets the criteria for a usable smartphone, touchscreen smartphone. And the buttons down here, there aren't any physical buttons along the face, kind of keeping along with the smooth, clean lines and the design aesthetic of the Devour. What these are capacitive touch keys. So basically, it senses the touch of your finger, just like this touchscreen, and pressing it, you can't, I don't know if you can hear it right there, but it's buzzing a little bit because it's got a vibration feedback, letting you know that you actually push the button there. And this little guy right here, rounding out the hardware, is a little optical trackpad. It's just like your optical mouse, but you know, you just run your finger over it, it's going to track your finger movement, and if you see the home screen here, you can see I'm actually navigating the home screen. It's not the easiest way, because of course I could just flick at will, much easier than the trackpad, but that's just going to show you that you can use the trackpad to control the screen. And finally, like the Motorola Droid, we have the slide-out QWERTY keyboard, full QWERTY keyboard. Unlike the Droid, though, this is actually a pretty usable keyboard. The keys aren't all mushed together, they're not super flat, and they actually have a good deal of travel, so they give good tactile feedback. You know, the keys are raised, and that helps for the feel of the keys. They're spaced well, which helps you actually get around conveniently without wondering which key you're about to hit. And the click, when you click it, because it's not as thin as the Droid here, they don't have to worry about saving space, you know, the spare millimeters that a curved key would cause and require, and makes for a really good feeling keyboard. And let's see, we've got the micro USB port right there, and because no smartphone would be a good smartphone without, notice what I just did there. I took this side strip here and I slid it towards me, and what that does is this whole panel comes out, and this little pull tab right here, that is the battery. Just pull that hard enough and the battery pops out. And right next to it is, it'll make a little sound because I pulled it out, that is the bundled micro SD card. You get 8 gigs bundled in the box right here. Just slides right in right here. It's kind of spring-loaded, just snap it back in. and you're good to go. I'm going to try to put the battery cover back on. There we go. The reason they put the battery cover here is because it removes it from the back side, and what that allows Motorola to do is kind of create this unibody metallic body that is all one solid piece. There aren't any moving pieces in the frame or the chassis of the body. It's all nice and smooth. And again, you can see right here the real hard cut angles give it a real geeky cool look. I call it geeky chic, if you will. But okay, so there we go. That's a quick look at the hardware. Rounding out the innards, we have GPS, we have Wi-Fi, 3G data, all the good stuff. And as far as the software is concerned, Android 1.6, and of course, because it's Android, you get all these separate panes that you can customize and put widgets on. But the first thing you should notice is all these different widgets on the home screen right here. This is motoblur, and motoblur is Motorola's own home screen, and what it does is it puts all these widgets on your home screen that kind of pull your data from your social networks, your news feeds, your email, text messages, anything, pretty much anything you could be doing online. It puts them all into these convenient widgets here. We've got the latest tweet from one of the people I'm following, my latest Twitter status. My messages all go in this message box. If I click there, it gives me the option to take a look, filter down by Twitter messages, text messages, email messages, or clicking that is the universal inbox that gives me all messages kind of in chronological order. But going back, I can click on any one of these, and clicking on the Twitter widget gives me a more detailed look at my Twitter messages. You know, I also have clock here. I have my media player right here. I can play music straight from the home screen without going to the media player. I have my news feed here, keeps me up to date, up to the minute on what's going on. And my weather widget right here, that's set to New York. We've actually got, I put a little weather widget right here, nice and sunny in 48 in Menlo Park right now. And of course, calendar widgets, stuff like that. And because it's Android, you have your app tray with all your apps here. And of course, if I can find it, Android Market, giving you access to all these cool Android apps. And if you pull down the top bar, you've got your status notification bar where you'll get message notifications and whatnot here. So pretty much what we'd expect from Motoblur. We've seen it a few times before. This is no exception. Pretty good, pretty handy if you like staying connected to your social networks, if you like getting your news up to date, up to the minute news, and all that stuff. And basically, pretty good phone overall. Feels good in the hand. Not too big, not too small. It's weighted very well. And again, just the design is pretty striking. Looks a lot like a MacBook Pro with the whole unibody metallic look. And lastly, a quick little look at the camera. I'm just going to hold this button down, and that's going to automatically bring up the camera here. One thing that's a little weird is the, if you can see, the camera button's kind of on the downsloped edge of it, so it makes it a little hard to push. You'd expect it to be on the front side, but it's actually on the back side. But just taking a look here, you know, we can just take a picture. Very little shutter lag, which is great for a camera phone, but the quality, as you can see, leaves something to be desired. And if I just tap it, I can delete pictures like so. There we go. And just tapping the screen, tapping the menu key rather, brings up your option for a camcorder, and you can record video as well. Again, not the best quality, but it will get the job done. And one last thing, the keyboard is cool, but one thing I wanted to let you guys know is it's laid out a little weird. If you take a look, you do have a dedicated number row up here, which is great. You don't have to hit a function key to enter your phone numbers, but the space bar kind of splits up the bottom row here and offsets these keys. So where I usually expect the M to be, the N is now placed. The period is right to the right of the L, and you know, it takes a little getting used to. It's not unusable. Actually, it's very usable. It just gets a little taking used to with the layout and all. But overall, solid phone. Available from Verizon Wireless very, very soon. Looking at about a $100 price point. right now. It's looking like $100 at Best Buy as well. So with a new 2-year contract, the Verizon Motorola Devour running Android 1.6, $100.